Welcome to the video, guys. Salt here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the dual Ichor Incarnon. Now in this weapon series, I take a weapon, I build it out, and I test that weapon on its own merits, meaning I don't mix it with any kind of external factors that would increase weapon performance. That would be things like Warframe's using abilities, pets putting statuses on enemies, things like that. I just test the weapon by itself, and I let the viewer make their own intelligent conclusion about adding those external things. Now, the only difference when I do a melee video is that I do use one external, and that is a pet that does apply statuses. And it's because pretty much every melee build in the game will use a mod called Condition Overload. And Condition Overload is going to require you to prime, and so the pet acts as my primer throughout all of my melee videos consistently. That way they're all the same. Showing a video making a melee build without using a primer would be a little bit disingenuous. That's why I kind of use it on all the melee builds there. Okay, let's get into the dual Ichor. So they're two little like infested daggers. I think they're daggers. I'll check when we go to stances. Two little, actually this says axes there. Two little infested axes. Okay, let's go into the build here. So interesting things about the Ichor is that it's going to start with Toxin on the weapon. So that's really cool. The Incarnon mode is going to, when you heavy attack, it puts a Toxin cloud in the area, which is going to do some damage over time and apply a toxic status 50% with a 50% status chance that I don't believe is affected by mod status chance. I believe it's just 50 straight up. There's a lot of stuff that does not carry over to that toxin, like to increase it. I think elemental damage does and flat damage, and I think that's about it. But it's really good for just applying, random statuses here and there. So it is pretty cool that you get that anytime you heavy attack. And with the addition of Tennokai, you're going to be heavy attacking pretty often. So that's really nice. Also, when you go into Incarnon, you get plus 100% melee damage, plus 20% sprint speed, and plus 20% to bullet jump. So that's really cool. You get to move a little bit quicker, and you get a little bit more damage. So, okay. I think that is about it for the unique stuff. Let's get into the mods here. So first mod is going to be Primed Pressure Point. There are a few options for this slot. So right now I'm just going to say Prime Pressure Point, but when I get through all the other mods, I'll come back to this and we'll talk about the other options there. Next is going to be Sacrificial Steel for a crit chance. Amalgam Organ Shatter for a crit damage. You also get a little bit of heavy attack wind-up speed, which is really nice because, again, you're heavy attacking a lot with Dreamer's Wrath. Or with Tennokai, I should say. With Tennokai, you're heavy attacking a lot. Gladiator Might is going to give us some more crit damage, and it's also going to give this little effect where we get more melee critical chance per combo multiplier. Condition Overload, which is going to give us a 80% flat damage increase per unique status affecting the target. So if an enemy has fire and electric on him, that would be 2 unique statuses, and that would be 160% melee damage. Our primer that we're going to be using for this video is going to be Dirija. My Dirija produces 6 to 8 statuses consistently to enemies around you. So 6 to 8 times 80 is quite a bit. You get a lot of flat damage from Dirija. I won't be explaining the entire Dirija build. I did make a video on it, so if you look back, I think it's like 2 or 3 months ago. It should be there somewhere. Gladiator Vice. Now in this slot, we usually use Berserker Fury because Berserker Fury is a 70% attack speed buff, where Gladiator Vice is 30%. Gladiator Vice is nice because it has that synergistic effect with Gladiator Might, but it's usually not enough attack speed. 30% is almost unnoticeable. Now, the cool thing about the dual Ichors is that one of its evolutions gives you 30 attack speed. So that evolution plus Gladiator Vice basically equals what we usually get with Berserker Fury. I mean, we get 70. This gets 60 with that, with both of them combined. But it's close to being the same attack speed buff. And you get more melee critical chance per combo multiplier because you're using Gladiator Might as well. So I think for the dual Ichor specifically, because of the evolution, and we'll get to the evolutions after, but because of the evolution that gives you more attack speed, I think Gladiator Vice is like top tier on the dual Ichor. All right, and in the last two slots here, we have our two mods that do the stack with combo multiplier thing. So Blood Rush is going to give us crit chance stacking with combo multiplier, and Weeping Wounds is going to give us status chance stacking with combo multiplier. For stances, you're going to start with the stance Swirling Tiger. Or you're going to start with the polarity on the dual Ichor for Swirling Tiger. There is another one I like better than Swirling Tiger, and there's one that I don't like. And I can't remember whether it's Crossing Snakes or Carving Mantis. I think I liked Crossing Snakes better than Swirling Tiger, and I definitely did not like Carving Mantis. This one was a little bit funky in the way it attacked. But stances are basically completely up to you. You know, when you get them, go to the Simulacrum, swing your sword around a little bit, see how they feel to you. It's basically just different combos. So I personally like attacks that kind of just like, you know, wave and like hit multiple enemies in front of me. I don't like attacks that are just like, you know, little stabs in front that only hit one target. So like that's what I like. So you might like something different. But yeah, for me, Crossing Snakes felt really good. I was tempted to format it in, but I wanted to show the video with the polarity that people would start with, which would be Swirling Tiger. And Swirling Tiger is still quite good. Swirling Tiger and Crossing Snakes are pretty damn good, both of them. Dreamer's Wrath. This is going to be our little Tennokai mod here. And whenever Tennokai is activated, we're going to have 50% more time to actually press that middle click button. That's not a big deal. For me, it is. I'm an older guy. I don't have great reaction time. So I love that 50%. But the thing that makes this really good, and I think even if you weren't an older person and didn't care about the whole like 50% more reaction time to press it, it gives you more crit damage on Tennokai attacks by 32%, which is pretty damn big. So Dreamer's Wrath, I think, is one of the best options there. There's a few good options, though. I personally like Dreamer's Wrath the best, though. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to go with Melee Exposure. This is going to put Corrosive on our weapon. Now, something cool, because I was like, you know, I'm going to put Corrosive on the weapon, but then, you know, it has Toxin, so I'm basically kind of wasting it. Well, guess what? This Toxin doesn't mix with this Corrosive, because this Corrosive isn't actually mods on the weapon. This Corrosive, I guess, because it's coming from the Arcane, I'm going to cough real quick, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. This Corrosive, because it's coming from the Arcane, doesn't mix with any like mods or innates on the weapon. So you get Corrosive, which is really friggin' good against Grineer, and you get Toxin, which is really friggin' good against Corpus. So you have like a top tier Grineer and Corpus killer, you know. And then the Infested, no one cares about them; they're easy to kill anyway. So yeah. So you're set to basically kill all factions there, just because Toxin goes past shields. That's why Toxin's really good against Corpus. And, you know, Corrosive's just really good against the armor type that Grineer is. So this is how you build the dual Ichor. I'm going to show another way to build the dual Ichor for a ranged focus player. So maybe you're a player that you mostly play ranged weapons. You still want to have a strong melee, but there's no point in some of these mods for a ranged player. So if you're a ranged player, you're not going to be stacking combo multiplier like with Blood Rush or Weeping Wounds. Same thing with Gladiator Vice. You know, the whole bottom part where you get more critical stacking with combo multiplier, you're not going to be caring about that when you're a ranged focus build. You're just once in a while going to have to fight... is it Mania or Misery? I think it's Mania. Mania, he comes out, he puts his Zephyr buff on, you can't shoot him anymore, and so you have to switch to your melee. And so, like, for a ranged focus build, you do have to have a strong melee sometimes, but it's going to change. You don't need all these stacking with combo multiplier because you're not going to get any value out of them. So let me switch to my secondary dual Ichor. This is going to be for someone that is using this for a range build, like I just said. So the differences here are going to be we're actually going to put Corrosive on the weapon. And the reason is in the main build, Melee Exposure to stack this, to get Corrosive, you actually have to be using like abilities with your melee out. And if you're a ranged build, you're not going to be doing that. You're just going to switch to your melee and you're going to want to start whacking things. So we have to put Corrosive on the weapon itself. Well, because the weapon already has Toxin, we can just put Voltaic Strike on and bam, we have Corrosive. So that's the change we're going there. Instead of Vice, which was a 30% attack speed, and then it had the stacks with combo multiplier thing on the bottom, we're going to go with Primed Fury. So it's a 55 attack speed, so you're immediately starting a lot quicker. The only thing with this one, it's a login reward, so a lot of people won't have this. So you can go with Quickening instead. Quickening is another strong attack speed mod that works like immediately, 40%. And then this slot here, you can either go with Primed Reach or you can go with Cornus Mandible. Cornus Mandible, it will be the one that does more damage to single targets. It's going to increase your slash weighting. And Primed Reach will be the one that gives you more possible damage to targets in like an AoE. It'll increase your range to hit more targets around you. So this has like multiple options for this slot here. So Cornus Mandible or Primed Reach. And that's pretty much the only difference. Oh, and then Melee Animosity. This is an arcane that works immediately, basically. So like if the Acolyte is in front of your face, Mania, who you can't shoot, you start whacking them, it starts ticking up. Whenever your Tennokai hits, you press the button and it does a crap load of damage. There's not a lot of ramp up that's needed to this. So that's needed for this. So it works very quickly. It's not like a ramp up thing that you need for other melee focused builds. So this will be the build for the dual Ichor for someone that just wants to have it as a strong ranged weapon while they're using their or as a strong melee weapon on their ranged focused build. But for the video, I'm going to be showing the main build just because this is a video about the dual Ichor. So I'm going to show it as its strongest possible build here. And for the main build, I want to go over this one slot here, Primed Pressure Point. There are two other options. So the strongest single target option is going to be Cornus Mandible. Cornus Mandible is going to increase your slash weighting so that you get more slash procs. And it's going to give you some status chance as well. So Cornus Mandible is going to increase your single target damage the most. Primed Reach is going to increase your possible multi-target damage the most. It's going to give you more reach to hit multiple things. So that's another really good spot on top of Primed Pressure Point. Okay, so Cornus Mandible was the single target best. Primed Reach is the multi-target best. So what the hell is Primed Pressure Point? Well, I'll try to explain. So Condition Overload is amazing. Gives you a crap load of flat damage. Primed Pressure Point only gives you 165. That's pretty low compared to like the 500 or 600 you can get at a Condition Overload. But sometimes your Dirija will die and it'll go down and he's not going to prime for you anymore. And so you're not getting the 500%. You're getting basically whatever the weapon's producing. So what are we getting? We're getting Corrosive and Toxin. We're only getting 2 unique elements there. It's pretty crappy. I mean, we have some like, IPS stats too. But you're not going to get the crazy flat damage that you normally get. So Primed Pressure Point is more of an insurance mod. So when Dirija goes down, your weapon doesn't automatically feel like ass. Like it's still pretty decent when Dirija goes down. So that's how to view Primed Pressure Point. It's the insurance mod. Cornus Mandible is the best single target. Primed Reach is the best multi-target. And Primed Pressure Point is the insurance mod for the times Dirija goes down. Pick your poison. All three of them are amazing. But yeah, that's about it there. So let's go over the evolutions real quick. First evolution is just you've unlocked it. Congratulations. Second evolution, we're going to be going for Ronin's Rush. Increases your damage by plus 90. And on striking a target with the final move of a neutral combo, you get plus 30% attack speed for 33 seconds. That's actually a pretty long duration. So what is a neutral combo? When you hold E, your dude will basically attack automatically. And that's it. That's a neutral combo. Most people, though, when they do melee, they hold W as well because they're trying to move forward. That's not a neutral combo. If you're holding W and E, that's like the forward light attack. When you just hold E without pressing W, That's the neutral attack, and that's what will activate Ronin's Rush. So you don't always have to be fighting in that neutral stance, because like me, I want to be moving forward and moving target to target. But once in a while, you just want to take your finger off the W button. Stop running forward all the time. So take your finger off the W button once in a while, whack a dude with a good combo out of the just the E button, and bam, you activate Ronin's Rush. You're good to go, and you're good to you go on your W adventure again. So that's going to be the best in the first evolution there. The other one here is a little bit meh. Increases your damage by plus 90, just like the other one does. And then you get 5 more combo on targets affected by Toxin. Not really that great. So Ronin's Rush will be better. Third evolution here. These are all good. So I like plus 7-second combo duration. So just because sometimes you have to hit a life support, sometimes you're switching locations, so your combo can fall off. I like the combo duration, but it's technically not really a DPS increase. The other two options are technically DPS increases. So this one here, Aurican Reach, is 0.6 range, which is very small, but it'll technically let you hit targets that are outside of your range. So that could technically increase your DPS by a small amount sometimes. And then Swift Break gives you plus 100% heavy attack windup speed. We already have that mod that gives us more heavy attack windup speed. I feel like you don't really need more heavy attack windup speed, but it will technically increase your DPS by a little bit, because you're going to be able to get those heavy attacks off quicker and get to whacking with your light attacks or neutral attacks quicker. So both of these are like minor DPS increases. The middle one is not a DPS increase, but I feel like it's a pretty comfy. I like the comfiness of it. I like the comfiness of knowing the combo is not going to fall off super quick. So that's why I'm choosing it. But these are all valid. You pick whatever you feel like you like the best. And then the fourth and final evolution, we're going to be going with Absolute Valor, which increases your status chance by plus 34. It's a really nice one. The other two I didn't really like too much. On killing an enemy with 3 or more toxin stacks, you get 33 health regeneration for 9 seconds. That's like 300 health. Well, I love my health and armor builds. I have a lot of knowledge about health and armor frames, and 300 health in almost 10 seconds is not good. You can get one shot with like 700 health with your damage reduction on. So like this is not really valid for a health and armor build. Universal Readiness. Collecting ammo grants 5 melee combo counter. I don't really like that either. It's kind of lackluster compared to this big status chance increase. So I think Absolute Valor is the way to go. In that second evolution slot, I feel like Ronin's Rush was definitely the way to go. And in the third one here, this one had a lot of options. You could basically pick any of these 3. So those are the evolutions. I'm going to switch real quick to Naramon so I don't lose combo very quickly. And because I don't mix this with any kind of external factors, I'm going to be doing this on a Big Dumb Anaros with no Archon shards that increase weapon performance. I have subsumed a dumb ability that I can press once every 24 seconds, so I can activate the Corrosive on my weapon. But this ability doesn't do anything else. It's infested mobility. It just increases my sprint speed. That's it. And parkour velocity, which is literally not really going to do anything for me. It's just something, it's a dumb ability that I can press to activate my Arcane on my melee weapon. I didn't want to have to press anything else that Anaros has because it could affect the weapon's performance. So I just subsumed a dumb ability that I could press every 24 seconds. And then we're going to be using Dirija, my Dirija build, which is going to be slamming out. Oh, look, he's not on the right build. Melee primer build there. Make sure he's on the right burst melee primer. Okay. So we're going to have my Dirija, who's going to be priming for me. And let's get into this. Let me shut my mouth. We'll head into the Kuva Survival. We'll do 10 minutes to show it off. Melee builds are a little bit less impressive to show off, just because you just kind of run around pressing E everywhere. But some people like to see it, so we'll see how it does here. We'll do 10 minutes. We'll kill some acolytes, kill some trash. Yeah, so this crossing, or I forgot what the one I chose. The stance that like the weapon starts with, this is it right here. So this is the forward This is the forward holding E, which is pretty nice. You know, it's kind of like swirling around. I really like it. And then the neutral, which is the one where you don't hold W, you just press E, or hold E rather. Like, this is okay. It's got like some attacks that are just stabs forward, which I don't really like. I like the swinging ones that hit multiple targets, but it's still pretty decent. The other one, I think it was Crossing Snakes. The Crossing Snakes one, I think, had a nicer neutral combo. So I kind of like Crossing Snakes better. But I wanted to show this one because this is the one the polarity starts with. So once in a while, you're going to see me press my 3 button, which is going to just give me armor and status immunity. And then once in a while, I'll press my 1, which is that stupid infested mobility. And that's just going to give me the corrosive stacks in my arcane. So let's get this party started. I will show off the dual Ichor here. This video is going to come a little bit late. Just because Pepper had me in the fields this morning, working in the backyard. So had to finish my work and take a shower and everything. I was covered in like cow manure. You see these little like green things on the ground? Those are the toxin clouds. So anytime you heavy attack, you're going to be producing those toxin clouds. And because of Tennokai, you're going to be producing them all the time. So there's going to be those stupid little toxin clouds all over the friggin' place. I'm not a huge fan of the heavy attack of this weapon either. It's kind of like a lunge forward. There's a lot of weapons that have kind of wonky heavy attacks, though. So, I mean, this is not really that different. Remember, once in a while to neutral attack. I actually forgot that for a while. So once in a while, don't press W and just hold E, and then you'll be good. That's to activate your first, well, technically your second evolution. It's a really powerful weapon, though. Really powerful weapon. I'm seeing mostly red crits. I think that's because of Vice instead of our normal Berserker Fury, because the weapon has that 30 more attack speed. After this video, I'm going to get back out in the fields again. Unless or else Pepper will get angry with me. Gotta go back out in the fields. Someone had suggested that I do the dual Ichor a while ago, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do the dual Ichor. It'll be out pretty soon." And then I realized I didn't have the adapter for it, like for the Incarnon mode. So it took me a lot longer than I thought to finally get the adapter and then, you know, format out and everything. I've heard this weapon can be really good on Saren. I don't play Saren myself, but I've heard it can be good on Saren, probably because of the innate toxin, I'm guessing, maybe. Like I said, I don't play Saren, but... All right, we're almost at 5 minutes here. See, Dredgy just went down, and that'll happen. He'll go down once in a while. But on those times, that's where Prime Pressure Point really like starts shining, because you're not going to get the full value out of Condition Overload anymore. So Prime Pressure Point is kind of like your insurance mod. But it's perfectly fine to run with the other options too, though. If you want to do Carnus Mandible, that'll be technically the most single target DPS. Or if you want to run with Prime Breach, will be the multi-target DPS. I'm going to try to pull this group in the hallway here. Instead of that big room. That big room's not really great for melee. They're like standing on top of the little fortress there. So much green toxin clouds. I love it. I love it. I don't play this weapon very often, as you've probably noticed. I am not used to having to neutral combo to get that 30% attack speed buff. So that's just something, if you use this weapon a lot, try to get in the habit of neutral comboing once in a while. You don't have to do it a lot, because it's a 33-second buff. It's just that I don't neutral combo a lot, so I probably have not been at my full 60% attack speed for like this whole video because of it. We have the other Acolyte coming. We'll see who it is. Looks like Torment, I think. Dredge is down. It's no problem. Got Torment down. I like how I said I was going to pull them in the hallway, and then I came right back out here. I don't follow my own advice. It's how it be sometimes. It's okay. We have a minute and a half left. And we'll see where we're at for kills. I think I probably should kill that Kuba Garden eventually. He's been living his best life for a bit there. Where is he? Fat dude. There he is. The heavy attack also is like, it's very short range. I don't know if you've noticed me trying to like lunge at dudes with the heavy attack sometimes that I've missed. So it's kind of like deceptively short range on this. And the stance doesn't affect it. I did check because I wasn't sure on that on the last weapon I did. I was like, maybe the heavy attack's different on different stances, but no, it's the same. I guess you can't have it all, right? Like, you can... Some weapons are going to have maybe better neutrals, better other things. So we're almost at 10 minutes here. Let's get a few more whacks in, and then we'll see where we're at for kills. All right, 10 minutes. We're at 754 kills. That's really, really good. I think those toxin clouds were actually doing some pretty good work for us. Where are we going? They're down here. There's a lot of things to remember about the toxic clouds. I actually have the wiki open right in my other screen here. So clouds are not affected by condition overload. They are affected by elemental buffs. They are affected by flat damage buffs, I guess, except for condition overload. They have 0 critical chance, 1 times crit damage. Status is not affected by Absolute Valor, which is the evolution we chose, which is okay. We're not choosing it just for the clouds. And fields do 440 toxin damage and last for 7/6. That's about it. I was trying to read it off while I was getting the extract there. There was a lot to the toxin clouds. I couldn't remember everything. I think I hit most of it, though. I think I kind of explained it well the first time. I think you should just still look at it as just a little bit extra damage and applying toxin once in a while. And the Incarnate form lasts for 180 seconds. I think that's all the Incarnate melee, so I don't think there's a difference there. So that is the dual Ichors. Pretty cool little weapons. If you have an infested Fashion Frame, that might go pretty well with it. As you know, Fashion Frame is endgame. Beats all other efficiency type builds. So, yeah, if you liked it, go ahead and give it a like. If you haven't subbed yet, consider subbing or tell me what I can do to earn your sub. And I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys have a good day. All right, take care. Bye.